get all of this. Oh, okay. I really should get some better ear thingamajiggies for the mic situation. I'm just gonna use the one. You got a nice little. I wonder. You got a nice little. Is it coming from that side there? Look like you got a couple of shadows.
It's probably this from the sun right here, right over this lamp. See my hand coming out. This the light sun coming right through here.
Yeah, because those whatever you call them, blinds not fully closed.
Hi, this is Pastor John Creighton and First Lady Vestina of Christ-like Fellowship of Talking Springs, Florida, coming to you with another Fruit of the Spirit. Today is part 6, the goodness battle, enjoying the fruit of your marriage. And we're hoping to encourage you and inspire you and give you a few nuggets to help you to take on the enemy when he try to attack your marriage. For the marriage is definitely under attack. He wants to destroy the home, take the man out of the home. Anything God has set up for goodness and for his pleasure, enemy want to make look bad. And like you say, don't think we can have a death do us part marriage. But the devil is a lie, and we want to encourage you that it can be done.
Absolutely. And I just want you to know I'm dragging today, Pastor Hubby. It's been a long week. Woo-wee. They said TGIL. Thank God it's Friday. Yes, goodness. I can't wait to wake up in the morning with the sunrise and not have to go anywhere. But thank God for his goodness.
Every day, every day.
Yes.
And actually, as you say, talking about God's goodness, and we're created in his image and his likeness. And when we're talking about goodness, we're talking about your conduct and your character. Yes, last week we did kindness.
Yep.
So they close cousin, but the goodness is how you carry yourself.
Yes.
And what's more important is how you carry yourself in the home, not so much in the street.
Absolutely.
Because as I was a youth pastor, I learned the children would tell me so many things like, yeah, my mom and dad in the church, they're deacon, elder, and missionary, and they do this in church, but at home. Oh my goodness, we perfect out in company and out in the street, but the character who you are should be the same in your home as well as in the store, in the church, wherever you go. So to have a good nature should be continuous, like you say. In the theaters, they always perform and they wore masks and they called it hypocrisy because you was hiding behind the mask. You was playing a character, you was playing a role, and too many church folks are playing characters, hiding behind who they are not. They're not portraying who they are in the home as well as in the church. And that's where we get the word hypocrite concerning the Bible. As we say in our words, we two-faced it.
Yeah.
But we got to learn how one face, and that's the face of God. How we act in church, in the street, at work. We need to portray that in the home because the children and surrounding people are watching us. They watch what you do more than what you say.
Yeah,
so it's important to have a good nature.
Right, and that's so important. That's the reason why, part of the reason why we put this guide together, enjoying the fruit of your marriage, is because a lot of times people seem like they pay more attention to their persona
Mm,
out in the street. But then when they come home, they ain't speaking to each other, or they just running each other down and
right.
not showing goodness. But boy, when they see sister such and such and brother this, that, and the third, or bishop this and pastor that, then it's like, oh yeah, goodness overflowing. But then before you got to the church, and as soon as you leave the church, you can't even talk to each
To each
other.
other. Yeah, absolutely. And what I've seen and heard, like I said, over the years, being in ministry over 20 years now, it's just crazy that it's sad to say that most of the stuff you hear got to do with the leaders in the church, the elders and bishops, how abusive they are towards their wives and family.
Mm,
But they want to be highly esteemed when they come to the church and uplifted. But like you say, but our first ministry is supposed to be the home. The
absolutely.
Bible tells a man
I
to love his wife as Christ
believe of
loved
that.
the church and gave himself for it. But it's so often, you'd be surprised how many stories you hear about church leaders that are just not loving
Yeah.
and not full of goodness. They totally opposite, like you say, that Dr.
hmm
Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. We one way in the church and somebody else in the home.
I can't. I don't know about you, but you know this about me. I don't do fake good.
No.
I don't do fake good. Like if I ain't feeling you, I ain't feeling you. It's just a bottom line. I'd be better. It's better for me to steal away and stay to myself, because it's like I have this resting, not so nice face a lot of times, because I don't do fake well.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm cordial or what have you, but to just be all out fakety fake or whatever, even with as much as I love you, but if we don't have out with each other, whatever, we need to rectify that soon, because that I can't. Like I said, if I don't have peace in my home, kindness in my home, love in my home, joy in my home, goodness in my home, how am I gonna walk with you up in the church saying hallelujah and trying to lead folks when we over here fighting like cats and dogs, or
Yeah.
can't say a kind word to one another?
Yeah, don't think you're gonna get anything out of the Lord when there's division. And the
Mm-hmm.
Bible talks about that we got to be on one accord, that our prayers be not hindered.
Mm-hmm.
So Bible even say if you know that your brother have a ought against you, not
Mm-hmm.
even that you got a problem with him, you go ask him for forgiveness. He says,
Yeah.
leave your gift at the altar and you go be reconciled to that brother. So
Mm-hmm.
if that's something like that, what do you think needs to happen within your home? Keeping
Yeah.
that peace and walking together. But goodness is something you got to work at till it becomes part of who you are. Till you
Absolutely.
don't have to work on it. It's just who you
It's
are.
just who
Like you
you are.
say,
Absolutely.
I
It's
know you.
just.
I'm gonna get this 100% whether I see you at work, in the
Mm-hmm.
grocery store, in the store, wherever I see you. I
There
know,
you go.
in your words, you're gonna be authentically you.
That's right. That's
If
right.
you're not putting on a show, you don't have to keep putting on a show. You know what I'm
There you
saying? If you're
go.
telling one lie, you got to tell another to cover up a lie. But if you're being
Exactly.
authentic, you all the time, it's not hard to be a good person. It's
Absolutely.
not hard to have a good character. It's not hard to have a good report.
Right.
Because as soon as somebody hears something about you, they no, I know that brother, I know that sister.
Right.
They always carry themselves in a good way.
It's so funny because my brother. So I don't know what my brothers or whoever would tell other folks, but when they met me and they actually started talking to me, it was like this was totally different than what they thought about me. And it's
Yeah.
just like, well, what in the world are they telling y'all about me? And I remember when one of my cousins used to call the house and he would tell my dad, like, that's just a mean girl. And I'm like, my goodness. And I don't try to be mean. It's just like, it's interesting how people perceive you or
Yes.
whatever. But the thing is, I'm probably one of the most sensitive people that you will probably meet. So it's always interesting how people see you at face value and how you portray yourself, because you're like,
Yeah, because I think they see like you put up this like tough exterior. You got a
yeah,
pretty serious and to the point look, but
yeah.
they don't know you just a big water
Oh,
balloon waiting to bust.
don't tell my business.
Just talk no noise in a
I know.
trash can and
I
can't
know.
take nothing.
I tell this little story. I just remember that I remember I called my youngest brother And it was so funny. And I can't remember what it was about, but I said I was going to call our daddy about something. He told us, now you know how daddy is. And he say something to you, you're going to be in
Call
tears.
down there,
You're going
get
to
your
be
feelings hurt.
call and get your feelings hurt.
You had your warning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so getting back to our book, because we'll run out of time so quick, y'all. If you can see that, enjoying the fruit of your marriage, and it comes from Galatians. It's based on Galatians 5:22 and 23, and this is actually a guide that the pastor and I put together. It's like a strategy guide is what we call it. These are things that we found work for our marriage, and we're still learning. Every day is a school day. You keep learning, you keep growing. As you grow and mature in your relationship, there are different things that come into your life. You figure out how I'm gonna do this battle, because the thing is, this is a till death do us part, because we both agree we know the devil is a lie. So we know we got to also do battle in order to enjoy this abundant life that God speaks about. And so we're on, this is number six. Number six.
Yeah.
So this is our 6th week. So make sure you go back and look at the other 5 weeks as we walk through the fruit of the Spirit. And so with the goodness battle, our main scripture was Ephesians 4:29, where it says, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen.
Amen. So that's being positive at all times, even in bad situations. Try to be positive, and not speaking words that tear people down. When God say, people know we are disciples by if we have love one for another. That's the chief ingredient for us to be a good Christian, showing love. But John tells us, if you say you love God and you don't love your neighbor, you're a liar, and the truth not in you. So that nature of goodness can only come from God, because that's who He is. His nature is good. His nature is love. So we can't do it on our own unless He abiding in it and working on us and changing our character, being transformed by the renewing of our mind every day. That's the only way we can have wholesome conversation, because we all been part of that other conversation, ready to give them a piece of your mind, a 4-letter words, but as we take on the Spirit of God.
But honey, it's 7 days out of the week. 5 days, maybe 3 out of 7 I'm all right, but them other 4.
Well, like you say, you're work in progress. You're work in progress. Because we all started at all 7 days. Because we were born lying and sneaking, so it's a process. And you got to watch it in the days you're in church. So some of the sisters and brothers can take you to try to get you out your character. And not just keeping it real, people. You got to understand your nature and how you deal with people.
That's right.
And identifying your weakness and strength, and then you go to God with that. Because I used to ask myself, certain ones on the job, when I see them coming, I would get in a bad mood. And then I had to realize that, well, God, what is it about me you trying to work out? It ain't even about that other person. It's obvious if I'm having a feeling, so God is still working on me. So we're all a work in progress. It don't matter how long you've been saved, long as you breathe in air, you are a work in progress. So
but keep moving, keep pressing forward, keep pressing. And the good thing about is like my conviction time is quicker.
Yes.
It's just like, oh, yeah, I know. Like, oh, does it say repent? To your level best, like, Lord, help me not to go there again.
And understand, as a child of God, the Spirit comes, like you say, to convict you. It don't come to condemn you.
Right.
People will try to condemn you.
Absolutely.
Religion will condemn you when you do get out of character and make mistakes. God knew we couldn't do this on our own. That's why He sent His Son to pay the price, to be our substitute. So there's no condemnation to them in Christ, Romans 8. So remember that. Don't let folks condemn you. You ask God to forgive you, and that person, if you offended somebody, ask Him to forgive you, and you get up and you keep going. It's in the past. The biggest problem is God forgive us right then, but we don't forgive ourselves. So that's a big hurdle. Learn to forgive yourself, because God already forgave you. And don't let people keep you there, because you got somewhere to be.
Absolutely.
You got to be better tomorrow than you were today.
You don't have time to just sit there. I mean, you deal with, you nip it in the bud, and you keep moving. Because that's the thing about people. People will come and try to keep you in that space. Now, some may be intentional. And some unintentional. But you ask God to help you deal with that, to keep moving forward, because He's already thrown into the sea of forgiveness.
That's right.
So,
But you got to understand, like you say, the devil on the hold you. But even
yeah.
as great as David was, and he was after God's own heart, David said, "Create in me a clean heart and renew the right spirit." You know, because he had his, even though he was a great king, he still had his. You can't read nobody in the Bible that God used that didn't have some kind of issue.
And I think he intentionally did
Absolutely.
that to use all these flawed folks. So they give us hope.
Absolutely. Let you know.
It's like, you can use me
I
too.
mean, Peter, the one he built the new church on, he told him he was going to deny. And Peter found himself cursing.
Yes.
Cursed the people out. But guess what?
Peter.
God said,
Peter,
go
my
get
man.
people. And he started the church that
Peter.
you and I, that we're enjoying now, Christianity. We got to understand there was no Christianity before Christ came. To be Christ-like is to be.
How you deal with your cussing spirit? Because see, that what
you got to take it to the Lord, just like any other spirit. All spirits, you got to bring them unto the subject of Christ.
Yeah.
You got to get in the Word so you know how to deal with them spirit and realize that's what it. We all have spirits. You can have a good person just have a bad spirit on it. That's why people need prayer.
Yeah.
That's why God created everything was good, but sin came in and corrupted our mind, our way of thinking. So we all got bad spirit. There's not bad seeds. We get under bad spirit, and the Bible said, "Be not deceived. Evil communication corrupt good manner." You can be a good person, but if you hang around bad stuff, negative stuff, after a while, you're gonna find yourself being negative. So spirits are transferable. So start getting around people that are talking positive, that's trying to do something.
Right.
Like you say, come up out of that ghetto mentality. You know, like your famous word, we cannot live no better than we believe. You have one of your inspiration. If I believe it, I can do it.
That's right.
You got to first believe.
You got to believe it.
I can believe that I can be better and have more. And I know I can. My spirit was designed to be better than it. Because you know, we all done things and been upset with ourselves afterwards. So I know I'm better than this.
Yeah.
So I'm getting back to that goodness, but we can only go to the one that created, and that was God. We can't do nothing without his spirit. There's nothing good dwelleth in us.
Not a
Save
thing.
his spirit. So
that's
back to the word.
We in the word, we in now.
I know. Well, I mean,
well, the thing is,
you know, I get to preaching, you be like, I done threw the book down and I'm gone, and I'll be done took off down that road. You be like, hey.
But yeah, I'm the one that's the talker. Till y'all see it, it's
Until
recorded.
They come to the Lord or some sports. Yeah,
yes,
absolutely. Other than that, you'll think something wrong with me. I'll be sitting over there looking at you funny too. So yeah.
I feel in them other spots.
You the gap filler.
Yeah, I'm the gap filler. Yes, sir.
You the icing on my cake.
I'm glad you said to sprinkle nuts.
Oh boy.
And like she crazy. But but what we said is like going back to words and what we came up with in terms of the goodness battle, because it talks about don't let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth. So we said words are powerful. You guys know that. You know what a word can do for you if someone lifts you up and encourages you. You know, someone says something, give you an authentic compliment, and you like, wow, you know, okay. But then also on the flip side, if someone says something that's negative, what that can actually do to you as well. And they can build or destroy. And just think about a word. But God, with a word, he spoke. He created it. He created all of this. He spoke it into existence. That means the power of my words, if I call you a liar, and I keep calling you a liar, at some point I'm going to think I'm a liar. And I'm going to live up to that.
Right. And that's why our parents have to be careful when they talking to their kids and always calling them stupid and dumb. No, speak positive things. You better than this. You can do anything you want. You put your mind, you're going to be somebody and you're going to go somewhere.
Life.
You know, you're going to live better than what you see.
That's right.
God created you to be more. So
that's why I have a real issue with
parents, be careful.
Saying things.
Life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Absolutely.
That's the word.
I believe, especially with children, because a lot of things that, you know, I've seen growing up and things that were said and probably, you know, from family members and stuff that was spoken. They were just, oh, we just kidding. You know, it's like, no, but then what you don't realize, you're planting seeds and that can develop insecurities in a child. So it's like, please, any parents watch this, be careful about the words that you say to your child, how you refer to your child. Because in this world, people are already going to throw labels on them, left, right, from the back, from the front. So be mindful of the words that you, especially with your children, and
be encouraging and empowering to the children.
Especially in times when constructive criticism is needed, couples should feel confident that any feedback given from their spouse is to help and not hurt. And that's a tough one. Because the thing is, we're sensitive, and they say the one that hurts you the most is the one that's closest to you. And but when you're in a marriage, you need to be in a space and create an environment where you're able to say some hard-hitting things, that it's like anything that comes out of my mouth to my husband, he should know that even though it may sting or be like, oh yeah, but he should know and feel confident that anything that comes out is to make him better, me better, us better, situation better.
Right.
Now, understanding, as he always say, and we've heard it before, it's not what you say, it's how you say it oftentimes.
Yeah.
So you have to ask God to really season your tongue, make sure you. But here's the thing, what I get concerned about sometimes is that because when there's sensitive things that need to be said or dealt with, that some people don't address it because they don't want to rock the boat or they don't want to cause this. But my thing is, if you don't talk about it, that's going to create a greater divide, because now you over here seething with some, probably unfounded stuff that you could have dealt with at the front end, but now you don't start, it's like your imagination is oftentimes worse than what it actually is.
You got to pull it up while it's just a sap.
Absolutely.
Don't let it develop
get to that deep
and
root.
Then it's hard to pull out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that, and that's why I really do encourage, couples, and we work on it, because the thing is, we have different personalities, we have different backgrounds, and we come at this we have different experiences. So that's one of the things that couples have to learn how to communicate. And people tell you like, well, communicate. Well, a lot of times, what does that actually mean?
Yes.
Just talking at each other, that's not communication. No. It's so far beyond. It's body language. It's all of these things.
You got to learn to have a dialogue and not just a monologue.
Absolutely.
One person doing all the talking, the other one listening all the time. So
and it takes a process to get there.
Absolutely.
It's a process, because you got to know the right time, the right environment, but don't let it just keep going on because it ain't never the right time.
Right.
You got to make time, especially if it's something that really needs to be dealt with. But once again, it's back. Ask God to season your tongue and prepare the hearts and the minds to deliver it properly, and that person receives it properly.
Yes, pray for both sides of the conversation before you approach it. And I believe, like you said, God is not out of confusion.
Right.
And He knows your heart. You want to make things right. He's going to set the atmosphere. And when the right time, you'll be surprised they're going to go over better than you anticipated. You were like, okay, that wasn't too bad.
Absolutely.
But had you just went on it when you was upset or thinking about it and did it on your own, it could turn out to be pretty bad. Always take time to pray and how to approach that. And I learned that dealing with situations on the job before I went in certain meeting. And I get in there and God allowed me to be peaceful and speak what I have to speak and with confidence. And it just go a whole lot better versus had I addressed what I heard when I was in my emotions and feelings.
In your feelings.
Yeah.
And you have to take that same type of thought process in your marriage.
Every day.
Absolutely.
That's why goodness got to become part of your conduct every day, how you carry yourself. So, and the weapon for that.
And just to remind people that probably have watched our previous one, maybe there'll be some new folks, witness God, what we say is like, okay, the scripture, the word is, our weapons of warfare is spiritual weapons. And so what we're saying that you got to do battle, you got to go and fight for this goodness, so you can actually experience the abundance of goodness in your marriage. And so the weapon we said that we came up with is something practical.
Yes.
Mindfulness. Just be mindful.
Yeah.
A lot of times we just operate in a bubble. You just say stuff, and it's just like, hold up, just because we love each other, I mean, you could just say thing and then just say, oh well, you know how I am, or the fact that that's your loved one should make you even more mindful of what you're saying to them, because words are so powerful.
Absolutely.
And we actually chose Colossians 4:6 to support that particular weapon of mindfulness. And Colossians 4:6 says, let your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone.
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 That's from the spouse down to the children.
Yeah.
Not just yelling at the children. Just do it because I say so.
Right.
But learn to keep that nice, peaceful, calm voice and tone. And sometimes you're going to get there, but
yeah,
like they say, count to 10, breathe, or whatever you got to do. But like I say, if you're learning to be a good person, that your conversation be filled with grace all the time, seasoned all the time. So no matter where you're at, people don't catch you out of character because you're just being authentic you.
Yeah.
So, yep. So being mindfulness of your environment, and you know the scriptures say we got to be circumspectly of the world. Be aware of your surroundings. Walk circumspect. That way, you mindful of where you at, so you know how you need to respond in the workplace, in the church, in the home. So you know you might have to critique it a little bit depending on who you're dealing with. Because you can have the same issue with different people, but you got to approach it differently.
Yeah, but it's definitely in a marriage. And that's the thing, I think a lot of times, that if we get that relationship at home, first of all, you get your relationship with God, and then you get your relationship at home. Because my thing is, you know, out there in the world, that's the world. But up in my house, this is where I'm going to put forth my best effort. Because this is what's most important to me. This is where the peace. I need my foundation to be right. I need my foundation to be solid.
Right.
So it's like, as far as all of the, yes, you want
just
those.
The windows and the doors and the trimmings of the house. But
we need the foundation is at home. Where if you choose to marry and come into this, and that's who we're speaking to, those who have chosen to become married. Because like we've talked about before, when you say I do, you're not a couple yet.
No.
It's like a promissory note. You say, it's like,
I'm promising to do right.
I'm gonna promise to do right now. I'm gonna promise, you know. And you know what? Some promises get broken. Yeah. But the thing about it is that you need to understand that, especially newlyweds, those who are engaged, guys, really just be prayerful, get in good counsel, and just know what because you can have an abundant married life. Absolutely. But you need to also understand that the enemy already on attack.
Right.
He's on attack. So just understand that when you're going into this battle, you better have your weapons. And this weapon for, like I said, this goodness battle is mindfulness.
Absolutely, because the Bible tells us when a man findeth a wife, he findeth a good thing and obtain favor of the Lord. So the enemy don't want you to have favor of the Lord because he know how good God is. He know the blessings of God. So he don't want you to inherit that. He don't want you to have a good family. He don't want your children to grow up to be successful. Anything he can run back to God. As the Bible says, Satan is an accuser of the brethren. He want to go back and say, I told you they was a liar, a cheater. They wasn't no good. They only loved you because you gave them a car, a home. Now I take that. Now look. Now, yeah. So, but you got favor. When you decide in marriage, you get into a special place in God's heart.
But you need to be responsible.
Yes, be serious.
God will not be mocked.
He will not be mocked.
He will not be mocked. So
that is a holy union that God ordained for. And don't take it lightly.
Don't take it lightly.
Don't take it lightly. Not at all.
So we said the other thing is not only do we want to share with people a weapon, but like any good weapon, you got to know how to use it.
Well, you cut yourself.
Yes, cut, shoot, do whatever, you know. Self-inflicted wounds. So for mindfulness, we said, well, how do you use this weapon called mindfulness? We said, as your marriage grows, your daily experiences will help you learn what makes your spouse happy and sad. With this intimate knowledge, you are equipped to respond to your spouse in a manner that will uplift and not tear down. So you know what those points are. You know what those buttons are. Not everybody need to know your business. Yeah. My husband know what makes me happy. I know what makes him happy, and on the other side, I know what makes him sad or gets him upset. And the same, but that don't need to be nobody else's business but y'all. And that's the other thing is, y'all folks need to keep other folks out your business. Okay, keep our family. And here's the thing, and I'm sure many of you guys have heard this before. When you get married and you and your spouse go through some stuff, something I would say most things you need to keep to yourself, because what will happen is that y'all be okay.
Yeah.
But mama, sister, brother, cousin be looking at that spouse cross-eyed.
Yeah. While y'all are made up,
Okay.
they still holding grudges.
Yes, sir.
And then you trying to move on, and they want to keep reminding you about what happened 6 months ago.
He did, blah, blah, blah. And it takes, and not saying everyone is like that, but I know that happens. And you do want to have a relationship with somebody in your family, which you could talk to, but you better know who that is. Somebody that's not going to judge, that can actually hear you and just leave it at that. Because you need a confidant. Absolutely. You know, somebody that loves you and that you can talk to openly. But just be real mindful of that.
And somebody that can tell you the truth, whether you're wrong or right. Absolutely. And maybe you just need to approach it this way and just give good advice. And remember, Psalms 1 tell us that we need to sit in godly counsel. He tell us don't sit in the seat of the scornful. You know, and don't talk to people that ain't married. Yeah. First of all, that ain't got no spiritual background. So you got to be careful about who you getting your advice and your counsel from.
Absolutely.
So that really goes a long way. So it's good, like you say, absolutely, to know if you got one person you can talk to, and your business are not going to be put in the street, or
and it's not going to, they're not going to keep throwing it in your face. Like when you have another issue,
like a life coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you know, and it would be great for someone who loves you unconditionally.
Yes, in spite of your faults and setbacks, because we all have them.
Absolutely.
So, and not judging, but you know, want to give you positive, as you talk about constructive criticism. You know, well, maybe if you approach it this way or do this, you know, and somebody guiding you to how to approach your problem, because we all gonna have problems. So,
absolutely.
And you're gonna need, everybody needs somebody to talk. I don't care who you are.
I don't care who you are.
Yeah, I know. Every pastor needs a pastor, a bishop needs somebody. You got to be able to talk to somebody besides God here, so God can give you the word.
Yeah, because we're human.
He uses people. Absolutely.
He created them when he told them to go on the ark 2 by 2.
That's right.
When Adam was out in the garden, he said it ain't good for man to be alone. So therefore, there's a need for human connection.
That's right.
So he designed us this way. So it's okay. But you know, the point is, make sure that you're careful who you share your information with. And like I said, you know, as much as family is family, you got to know who your family is, okay? Absolutely. Let's just keep it 100, okay?
You already know which uncle and auntie or cousin you can't talk to. So, you know that.
Keep it on.
Yeah. You don't need them folks talking about, you need to leave and get out of here, but they still putting up with their own drama. People love to tell you what to do, and they got some stuff going on. I wouldn't put up with this and that, but you look over there, you're like,
full of good advice.
I know, right?
You know what? Actually, it's pretty comical when someone launches into this thing, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it just make you forget
all about I'm glad I told you. My goodness. Or it's just like, you know, like you said, getting counsel from a single person. It's like, probably, yeah. And I'm not saying that people aren't full of wisdom or whatever, but all we're saying is just be really thoughtful about who you share your business. Because I'm telling you, what goes on between a man and a wife, and a husband and a wife, is that right? Man, wife, husband, wife. Yeah. Should be there. That's where it should stay. Now, you know, we're not talking about extreme stuff, and we don't need to go into all of that. But we're talking about the normal stuff that couples go through that need to stay in your house.
Yeah, and it's all about, like I say, learning to be better next year than I was last year.
Yeah.
You know, getting better, having a good spirit.
And doing it together. See, that's the thing. That's the big thing that really drove this. Was one of the big drivers for creating this guide, because too many people are married living single. And the thing is, you know, you got this idea how we're going to do this, and then he got his idea how he's going to do it. Y'all need this, the whole thing. And it brings me to what we did this as like a little workbook where we were saying, sign this, but when you sit down together, we've given our scriptures, but we've actually put some actual lines in here for you to put your own scriptures in here. And also to sign that you commit to doing this together. Y'all, you can't do it alone. No. If you were going to do it alone, then why did you get married?
Amen. How can two walk together?
Unless
they have agreed to do so.
And I think that's a good place to end.
All right. So strive to have a better character and good conduct. Walk
Yes.
in goodness. Be
Walk in
kind to your
goodness.
family. Let your conversation be seasoned with salt. We know salt do wonderful food, gives it taste, gives it flavor. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what your conversation ought to do to your family, your church, the workplace, wherever you go. You ought to add something positive to where you're
And
at.
not too much, because y'all know if y'all put too much salt in the dish, y'all know what to do. Because I'm the type of, because I can't really cook. I try, but let's just be real about this thing. If you,
Jesus.
we want to talk about those wonderful meals.
No, I don't think they ready.
Yo, you ain't ready for all that. Okay, all
right. Yeah, we gotta ease them into that.
But we do want to remind you to please, you can actually get this little guide, and I'm telling you guys, it will certainly bless you. This is available on our website, and you'll see that on the screen below here somewhere. And you can get this in paperback. It's only like 32 pages, and then it's also an ebook on our website. So it's really a handy guide where you can just it serves as a reminder when you're having one of those days where you can just put this, oh yeah, we did commit to that, huh? You know. And you do need to commit to sit down and study the word together.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it will do wonders. It will draw you together. I can only go by what has happened with us, and that is something that we know is true.
And one thing me and my wife are doing right now, we don't always do it together because she go to sleep early to me and get up before I do. But we both have committed to listening to something positive. Absolutely. And most of the word before we, no matter what we done watched all day, what our day been like, she goes to sleep here late. I've been walk out of the room. I hear something from Jake's playing, and I've committed to. I don't sleep well at night anyway, but I committed to the Lord that I'm reading 5 chapters every night, no matter what it is. I started in Proverbs, and I'm reading 5 chapters every night. So that just getting the word in you, so when you come to those blocks, God say He'll bring all things to your remembrance. But if you haven't put it in there, He can't bring it out.
Oh, y'all, and guess what? Pastor Hubby and I gonna be taking classes together.
Oh, Jesus, yes. Yeah. I'm already in school, but you know she gonna be trying to school me, y'all. So y'all pray for us.
That's what I do.
Because this is a new walk.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting.
Together.
Yeah, going to school together, studying the same thing in the class together. Amen. Wow.
Yes.
But anyway,
it's gonna be fun.
Guys, well, we hope you. Thank you for those that have hung in there with us. Thank you for clicking on this video. Please share with others. Tell them about the other ones that we did. We'll link it. You'll see it floating around here somewhere. The whole playlist is called I think it's Pastor John and Lady Vestina Love and Marriage. Is in iTunes. It's on podcast for those that don't want to look at us while we're doing this. So you can actually go on iTunes and listen to it there. So and then next week come back. What are we doing, honey, next week?
Next week will be faithfulness.
Faithfulness?
Yeah.
Is it faithfulness? Is it? Yeah, faithfulness. Yes. So come on back.
I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear about that.
Yes, Lord. That might get a little quick. But so anyway, so yes, please like the video if you liked it. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. That means you watched it. Right. And then comment and definitely share it and subscribe and consider subscribing to this channel. We do have like what we call the message in a minute, where the pastor gives an inspired word every day. There's a minute or less. And then I have Lady to Lady with Vestina, and it's just talking to the ladies that's in ministry, just lady stuff in general, just my ramblings. And then what else do we have? Oh, and then his full sermons.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, guys, we're going to get out of here. So until next time.